If you want to, you can send out an email and give somebody the option of essentially voting, or you can poll them and let them give some input. And then you can have Outlook actually tally up the answers, the responses to that. Let's go ahead and create a new email. And I'm going to send this to a couple of my dummy accounts just for samples. And I'll put, what do you think will she win? Okay, and I'm going to go over here to options and select use voting buttons and go to yes, no, maybe. We'll do that one. And then we'll go ahead and send that. And that's as simple as that. Now, what I'm going to do is pause the video. I'm going to check those other email accounts and answer the question, and then we'll see what happens back in Outlook. And again, I'll be right back. Now, what I did is I sent one of those back to myself so you can see the other end of what's going on here. But when you get a message that is prompting you for a poll, then you click here to vote. And I'm going to vote no, send the response now. I could make some changes to the message itself if I wanted to. And then that gets sent out. Now, again, I'm using the same email account here just for the sake of demonstration. So once that gets sent out, then I'll go ahead so things don't get confusing, and I'll delete that message. And let's do another send receive. And okay, we're getting the response. Now, this is the response. The sender responded no. But that's not the end of the story. If I've sent it out to 5 or 10 or 100 different people, once that's all done, I can have that information tallied up and maybe export it to Excel, for example. So let's go ahead and I'm going to pull up an example here. I'll pause the video, get everything ready, and I'm going to pull up an example so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, I want to apologize here. I'm not going to have an example for you that has, like 500 responses. In fact, it's only got the one, but that's because I can't send out an email and wait for 500 people to respond to it. Although I could find that many people on my contact list, but there's a couple of ways that we can find out what the results were. Obviously, when you get an email in, you can see the response there. But if you go back to your sent items folder and you find the actual email that you sent out that had the initial request, notice the icon there is a little bit different. That lets you know that this was a poll or a survey. If you double click on that message, then you can make sure that tracking is turned on. This is the actual message, but if I turn on tracking, it's showing me all the responses for that. So anybody who responded is going to show up here and their answer, and I get actually a total up here where it says reply totals. No equals 1, yes equals 0, maybe equals 0. So it'll give me a total of everybody. If 10 people said yes, it'll show me 10, and 5 people said maybe, and 100 people said no. All that information is going to be totaled here. And then if I want to, I can actually select all of the results there. It's kind of like a spreadsheet. It's in rows and columns. And then I can do Control C. I could head over to Excel and do Control V to paste, and all of that information is going to be entered there for me. And of course, I can manipulate it at that point in whatever fashion I want to utilizing Excel.